Have you ever had one of those conversations where you just click with someone? It feels like you've known them for years. Well, what if you could make that happen, on purpose? Today, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to break down 5 super simple but crazy powerful phrases that will help you build instant rapport with pretty much anyone. Right? It's a great question. Sometimes you meet somebody and it's just easy. The conversation flows, there's no awkwardness, no trying to think of the next thing to say. Well, that little bit of magic, it's not magic at all. It's a skill, and it's called rapport. And the good news is, anyone can learn it. So, what does that fancy definition really mean? At its heart, rapport is just about being on the same wavelength with someone. It's about creating a real, genuine connection where the other person feels seen, they feel heard, and they feel respected. It's not about being fake, it's about being genuinely in sync.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about why this can be so challenging. Then we'll dive into the 5 phrases that are going to be your secret weapons. And finally, we'll wrap it all up into a toolkit you can start using like today.
Look, we've all been there, right? The painful small talk, the long awkward pauses. The real challenge is getting past all that surface-level stuff and creating something real. It's about making that shift from just talking at a person to actually connecting with them. And this is where it gets really good. Think of these next 5 phrases as keys. Each one unlocks the different door to a deeper, more meaningful conversation. They might sound simple, but trust me, the impact is huge. Let's get to it.
All right, let's start with number 1. This is maybe the simplest one on the whole list, but don't let that fool you. It's a total game changer, and it's something we almost never do.
That's it. 2 little words. Instead of immediately jumping in with your own story or your own 2 cents, you just pause. You give them the floor. It's a powerful invitation. So what's actually happening here? When you say tell me more, what you're really saying is, I'm interested, you're interesting. You're putting the spotlight entirely on them, and that makes people feel incredibly valued. It shows them you're genuinely curious about their world.
Okay, on to phrase number 2. This one is perfect for those moments when someone shares an idea or an opinion that's, completely different from yours.
Now, notice what you're not saying. You're not saying I agree or you're right. You're acknowledging their way of thinking. It's subtle, but it's so powerful because it's completely non-judgmental. And this is a really important distinction. You're validating their perspective without necessarily agreeing with their conclusion. You're basically saying, I respect your mind. I respect the way you see things. And that makes people feel smart and appreciated, not defensive. All right, number 3 takes us a little bit deeper. We're moving past just ideas and facts and into the world of feelings. And that, my friends, is where real connection is born. Think about it. When someone's telling you a story about a big success, a tough failure, a major life event, this phrase goes right for the emotional heart of it. And here's why that works so well. We connect with each other through emotion. By saying this, you prove you're not just hearing the story. You're understanding the feeling behind it. You're listening with empathy, and that builds an incredibly strong bond. Okay, phrase number 4. I've got to say, this one's a personal favorite. It is a fantastic shortcut to discovering what really makes someone tick. You can ask this about anything, their job, their hobby, their favorite city, anything. And what happens is people just light up. You've invited them to talk about their passion. This question is amazing because it just cuts through all the boring, rehearsed answers. It gets you straight to their why. You stop talking about what a person does, and you start learning about who they are. It's like, if you ask me about this guitar, I could tell you the type of wood it's made of. But if you ask what I love most about it, I'm going to tell you it's signed by the Backstreet Boys. That one little story tells you so much more about me, right? That's what this question does. It uncovers the real story. And that brings us to our final phrase, number 5. This one is absolutely essential for building trust, especially when you're in a disagreement or a conversation gets a little tense. Once again, this is not about agreeing with them. It's about showing them that you've truly listened, that you understand their position, even if you have a totally different one. What this phrase does is incredible. It creates what's called psychological safety. The second someone feels understood, their brain literally shifts out of defense mode. Their guard comes down, and suddenly a real productive conversation is possible. It's like building a bridge between 2 different points of view. So there you have it, 5 incredibly powerful phrases, but I want you to think of them less like a script you have to memorize and more like a set of tools in a toolkit. Each one has a specific job to do,
to spark curiosity, show respect, connect on an emotional level, find the passion, and build safety.
So let's run through your new toolkit one last time. You've got tell me more to go deeper. That's an interesting way to look at it, to show respect. That must have been a big moment to connect with emotion. What do you love most about it, to uncover passion? And I see where you're coming from, to build that bridge of understanding. That's the whole shebang.
Of course, knowing these phrases is one thing, but actually using them is where the magic happens. So here's a little challenge for you. Think about your very next conversation. Which one of these tools are you going to take out for a spin? Just try one. I think you'll be amazed at the connection you create.